Programming in C# and ASP.NET. This is your instructor, Mr. Wilson, your instructor and guide as we take a closer look at C# and ASP.NET. This is CS ASP 009 Format and Web Basics. So, one of the things that you have to, there's some in Visual Studios, there's some cheats, the designer and some of that we've looked at to be able to get around really understanding how websites work and how they do what they do. And in looking at that, there's HTML, which right now HTML5 is the way to go. There's CSS and, there's Bootstrap. All different ways to format websites and web pages. And really, truthfully, you're going to have to go to another course and you're going to have to learn some HTML and a little bit of CSS, how CSS works, and some Bootstrap. We're not going to be covering that right now, but that's something that you need to have in the back of your mind, that you're going to be a good software developer, you need to understand the front end and what it does and how it works. And so kind of go ahead and start to put in your mind that you're going to have to do this at a future date. But for right now, we can use some of the basics and some of the cheats that Visual Studios gets us. But once you get a good handle on this and you learn to code, I want you to forget those and go learn HTML, go learn how web pages do. Code Academy is a great place to go learn some HTML. And once you've done that, you'll find that you can conquer most of the projects that we're looking at. So let's go ahead and go to Visual Studios. Okay, let's go ahead and let's open Visual Studios. And we're going to come over here to create new project, just like we have been doing. Except we're going to, this time, we're going to put in ASP.NET. And, oh, there it is, web application. We're gonna start that. And under web application, we're going to put this as CS underscore 009 web basics. I'm going to put a 1 behind mine because I'm pretty sure I've done this before. Okay, and now it's saying, hey, there's all these other options with an ASP.NET Core web application. Which ones of these do you want to do? And I'm just going to say web application, okay? And so that's just this one here, not the one that says model view controller. That's definitely for another time, but we're going to be getting to that very soon. So right now, just a web application and say create. Okay, so it's going ahead and it's building a template now for us. And here it is. Okay, notice our file structure looks a little different than what we've seen before. It still has the name of our solution up here and our solution name down here. Everything's pretty much the same as far as those go. But our template designer and all that didn't open up because this is not a WPF, a Windows presentation form. This is a website itself. Okay, so you know what? Let's just go ahead and look and see what this looks like so we have a visual idea of what we're looking at. So I'm going to go up here. Notice this says IIS Explorer. IIS Explorer. And that is saying, hey, this is a virtual server. When we click this button, it sets up a virtual server, and it basically acts like it's the internet. It pretends like it's the internet. It's not the internet, but it thinks it's the internet. And it will launch our browser. And we can actually pick even which browser it's going to open. I use Chrome. That's what I always open to, so that's my default. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click this. And it's going to open my browser as it begins to set up this virtual little website. And there it is. So you can see it says, here's the name of my project, which was CSS09 Web Basics 1. Yours just probably says Web Basics. There's a home and a privacy button here at the top. It says welcome, learn more about building an ASP.NET Core application. And then down here at the bottom, it's got a little copyright and a privacy. This is the basic template that we built when we asked it to build that. This is a basic website. Notice here in mine opened in Chrome, in our bar, it says localhost 44314. Yours probably says something similar or a little different. The number may be a little different. But that is the pretend internet address of where it has gone, okay? And so you can click the home button, or you can click the privacy button, and it'll take you to this privacy page, or the home button, and it will take you back to that page, okay? All right, let's go ahead and close that up. So where did that come from? Where did that information come from in this project? And so if we come over here and we were to look in here, we would see there is a what says pages. If we were to open that pages up, we will see that it says index. So if I click on the index page, it will open this up. It says at page, at model, index model, view data title equals home page. And then right below that, if you look at this code, if you're familiar with HTML, looks like HTML code. And this code up here, though, it looks different. This code up here looks like C#, because all the code that's behind the @ signs up here is C# code. This is a Razor page, okay? And Razor pages allow us to use not only C# code by using an @ sign and telling it, hey, this is C# code coming, so this is something to execute. And then it says, hey, this code right here is HTML. So treat it just like a web page, and this is web page code. So we could easily come right in here, and we can change this. We can change what it says. Let's just take this out. Delete that. And let's hit enter a few times. And if I was to come in here and tab and put H and 2, and we're going to say class, no, let's just leave that H2, and I think we can do that. And all I'm doing is that's an open or a greater than symbol and a less than symbol. So I use less than and H2 and greater than, and that closes that. And notice it went ahead and put the this closing bracket here. And so if I come in here and I put, and then watch, we're just going to write welcome again. Okay, just welcome. Okay, let's go down, enter, and then let's do this again. Let's say H3 this time, and welcome. And one more time. You probably have already got it in H4, and close, and welcome. Okay. And so we've changed our page. Let's go ahead and hit save. A little build. Build succeeded. And let's just hit our IIS up there. And notice now it says welcome, 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 welcome. And notice each time it's making it in a different font. It's making it a little smaller font. This is because I'm just using basic HTML code to tell it something that I want it to do. And you could use any HTML code example to do that. And anything that you wanted to type on your page, you can do that from there. Okay? So just kind of a little interesting experiment there. Let's go ahead and close that. So that was over on our index page. In fact, so I could actually, I could get rid of these parentheses if we wanted them all to look the same. I just wanted you to be able to tell the difference. We could get rid of all of these. And notice that text is centered because of this command up here. Class equals text centered. We could have told it to do something else. We could adjust the text to the left. We could adjust the text to the right by doing the same thing. In fact, let's just close that up to there. Let's come down here and let's say, and div, yeah, and let's say class, and equals, and let's say text. And notice it gives us all of these options here. Let's say text. Let's say text left. And close. And let's just do this. Let's just, I don't like doing this, but I'm going to cheat for a second. I'm going to cheat. Why don't you actually type it in and see? It's good for you guys to type in here and to know that, oh, if I type in here, if I do this, it's not going to blow up. I can fix it if it's a problem. It's good for you to learn to do that. I'm going to hit the save button up here. I'm going to go ahead and say build. Make sure there's no errors. And let's run it and see what it looks like. Okay. So now that I run it, you can see, hey, it said welcome, and it did that here, and it said welcome, and it pulled that over here. Great. Okay, so you can see how basically the HTML is doing the work for us here in this project, and how we can go and we can look at the HTML. So let's say, for example, let's say we wanted to make some changes to our project here. So we're out of that, so it's not running anymore. But let's say we come over here and we go to startup.cs. What's underneath there? And you can see here is kind of the controls for our program. Here are some more controls for our program, and we can get into these sometime too. Let's close that up. Over here, and we were looking at our index page. If we were to come up here, oh, there we go, layouts. Yep, and there's that page, and app settings. See, we can click through all of these, and it doesn't mess anything up. It allows us to look through any of these folders that's going on there. Okay. So I closed the shared folder. Now I'm going to go to layout. And this is where the basic layout for the pages that we were looking at. And so if you look up here and it says, for example, it says doc type HTML. It's setting the language that it's going to use. Here is the header. And notice it says in the header, meta name, blah, 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 title, view data, title. And then here it says, and it went and got where I had set this as the name for my project. Let's change that. Let's just change that to, let's change that to my page. Now, you can change that to anything that you want to. This is just an example so that you can see how we can change things in here. I'm also going to come down here and under index, I'm going to change this to my page. Okay. And notice if we go down here a little bit further, it says nav bar, collapse, collapsible, blah, 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 blah. And then inside of here, it says nav link. Now, that means this is the ability of it to send it someplace else. Nav link, text dark, ASP area, ASP index. Index is the name of the page. Remember, when I wanted to get home, I looked at the index page. That's what I opened to show us that. And here it says home. Okay? And so this directs it to the home page. I'm going to show you later on how it does that. And this is a great thing to be able to know how to do. All right. And then down below here, it says all of our information and privacy. And if you remember, I clicked on that and it took us to a page that was called privacy. Okay, a razor page actually. Okay, so let's go down just a little bit further. I'm continuing down, and it says down here at the bottom, it says footer class. We would think the footer is at the bottom of the page, and it is. Footer class, and it tells it what it's going to look like, border, top, footer. The class is called container, and in there it says and copy, and here's the copyright symbol that's coming up, 2020, and then here is that CS009 Web Basics at the bottom of the page. I'm going to go ahead and take that out right there, and I'm going to say my page. Okay? My page. All right. And if I had the name for my page, if I had different names, name for my page, that's where it would go. And because I've changed it here, wherever I use this template in all of my forms, or for all my other web pages, it will do the same thing. Okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to hit IIS Express. Remember, that's the virtual server that pretends like it's the internet and runs our page. So let's go ahead and run that. Okay, here it is. And notice the changes now that we made. Up here it says my page instead of saying the name of our project. And then once again the welcome, the stuff that we had built. And down here it says my page. So we changed that layout.cs HTML to reflect what we wanted it to reflect. So we could make changes in there. We could add pages on this bar by going to that layout.cs HTML and make changes to it so that the things on our page would appear different. Okay? All right. Let's close that. There we go. So that's our first step in this. Kind of get used to it. We're going to be dealing with this quite a bit. And we will, in the next video, we'll get a little more in depth into this. We'll get into this and we'll make some changes and do some stuff to that. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you there. Let's go back to our slides. Make sure to subscribe. More to come.